going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the German Bear Podcast. And today we want to talk about the newest member of the Chicago Bears, and Kiran Amegadjie, after the Chicago Bears drafted him with the 75th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. The Chicago Bears decided to stick and pick in round number 3 of the 2024 NFL Draft after they already went crazy at day 1 with getting Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze to the squad, and now had their 3rd pick in the draft and decided to stick with the offensive side of the football, which I like a lot. We're going to talk about the player that the Chicago Bears took in a minute and just go into his tape and what he's going to bring to the Chicago Bears and how valuable he's going to be moving forward, because he's going to fill a big role that is much needed moving forward for the Chicago Bears. But overall, what can I say? I love the pick of Kiran Amegadjie. I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly, but I think it should be right. But I absolutely, as I said, love this pick. I know there's other needs right now that do look like more glaring needs, but I think first and foremost, the defense will be solid nonetheless. I don't care if we get an edge rusher at 75 or not. The defense should be solid anyways, but at the same time, you cannot fix everything within one draft, especially because the Bears do have limited access to draft picks in this year's draft specifically. So with that being said, though, still offensive tackle was a big need for me, and that's not just because I think Braxton Jones would get better if he also gets competition in camp. No, the Chicago Bears, as the only swing backup tackle, have Larry Borom on the roster, and after Braxton Jones went down last year and Larry Borom played actually for a stretch for the Bears and went in at left tackle to protect the blind side of Justin Fields, that was absolutely horrible. So I do not want to see that again, ever again, having that type of a swing tackle. So that is why offensive tackle number 3 was such a big spot for the Chicago Bears. And that's why I love that they actually addressed that need in the 2024 NFL Draft and stick with pick number 75, because Amegadjie is a super talented player, as we'll see in a second. But overall, with that pick, you will get protection for Caleb Williams, or at least additional protection for Caleb Williams. You get a insurance for the offensive line, and you will bring in competition for Braxton Jones, who will hopefully push him to get better, and if not, in the future, maybe takes over the left tackle spot if Braxton Jones is not going to be that guy for the Bears moving forward. He's maybe potentially that guy, and that's also very good to have. But with that being said, let's actually get into the pros for Kiran Amegadjie and what he can add to the Chicago Bears roster. And what first and foremost sticks out is obviously his physical measurements. He's a very young offensive lineman that's 6'5", 223 pounds, and has 36-inch arms. So a very long offensive tackle, not height-wise maybe, but very long arms and a very long frame overall still, and still a very compact and overall well-built body, which is very good for the tackle position. So I do see him definitely as a tackle rather than a guard, but he could still potentially slide in if the Chicago Bears want him to. But for me, he's definitely a guard. He showed that on tape, and the measurables back that up as well. But yeah, talking about that length, he is a powerful long tackle with great arm length, and once his hands are on you, he will win this leverage battle automatically. So he plays with natural leverage because he's such a long tackle, and he has big paws as well. So as soon as he places those paws on you, you're not going to get away from him, which is very, very intriguing. Also, I love his foot quickness. He does not get lazy with his feet. He's consistently moving them and just staying active, which I love. And talking about those foot quickness as well, he mirrors rusher really well already. And even though he's more of a raw type of a prospect that still needs a little bit of molding in the NFL and also get up to the playing level too, because he did face a little lower competition at Yale. But he will learn that stuff, and as I said already, mirrors rusher really, really well. He also on tape showed the ability to redirect quickly, so if it's a stunt or just a late rusher or a double team, he will redirect, or if it's a guy just going vertical and then getting back inside of him, he can redirect easily as well and and just resets his pass set and just clamps a guy too. So that was really, really nice to see on tape. And then he stays square on his pass sets, which is obviously key to being a successful tackle in the NFL or college football as well. And then against the run or in the run game, he has really good movement skills to go into the second level. I love that. Really good angles too on the linebackers and also those double teams with the guards. He plays those really, really well. And then power and length in the run game, same applies as in the pass game. He will move people, he will finish blocks, he does possess that aggressive mentality in the run game, and then also seals the edge really well and kicks ass on pin blocks. So love to see that. So from a technique standpoint, really good in the run game, has that length that he uses in the pass pro too. So overall, a very solid prospect from that standpoint, and he has so much upside. Now for his cons at this point in time, I mean, there is some technique aspects that he needs to clean up, footwork wise as well as hand placement wise, and what he does and throw to the edge rusher or defensive lineman at certain spots. So that's something he needs to clean up. But I mean, he's going to be in the NFL, he's going to have great coaches, and we have a really good O-line coach in Chicago as well, so he's going to learn quickly. And he's apparently a very smart guy if he was at Yale, so that should not be a problem. And then obviously there's going to be a competition jump from Yale to the NFL, so it's going to be interesting how he handles that. But from the measurables and the athleticism, he should be definitely able to do that, at least from this standpoint. And yeah, with that being said, overall, I'm really happy with this pick by Ryan Poles, sticking at 75, picking Kiran Amegadjie, just getting more depth for the tackle spots. Because as I said, Larry Borom is not the guy I want to have as a swing tackle. With Amegadjie, you get a guy that's going to be a reliable guy early on that can develop still also in the league so far, and it's not going to be a liability if he actually needs to play, but he can get better. That's what I'm trying to say. He has some upside, and at the same time, he's also going to challenge Braxton Jones, which hopefully that competition gets the best out of both of those players. But I mean, he's not fixed at that position. For me personally, Braxton Jones could still be replaced at this point in time. I don't know how he develops this offseason. Obviously, he also has some upside and is a very talented player, but with Amegadjie, I think you cannot go wrong here in this draft, and it fulfills a need. Is a talented player with upside, and he's going to help immediately with depth for also protecting our new franchise quarterback in Caleb Williams. So overall, really happy with that selection. And with that being said, guys, that's the end of the episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Definitely let me know in the comments down below what you think of the Chicago Bears picking Kiran Amegadjie with the 75th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. Expect some more draft content coming. Obviously, the Chicago Bears at this point in time have one more pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, so we'll get over this as well tomorrow. And yeah, like and subscribe if you liked the video. Check out Instagram and Twitter if you want to as well. And as always, guys, bear down.